The case study I chose about school safety is punishing choices, challenges of mandated reporting. This case study is about a new teacher in the area who suspects child abuse going on in the home of one of her students. The child has always been lively and outgoing, but the teacher has noticed a recent change in his demeanor. The teacher met with the student's mom, a regular volunteer at the school, to discuss her concerns and to help dispel her suspicions. The mother stated that she has a new boyfriend and her son is jealous that he is not getting his mother's full attention anymore, but she assures the teacher other than ordinary discipline, no physical abuse was taking place in the home. However, after the parent meeting, the teacher continues to feel unsure due to the child's changing behavior. The teacher is torn whether she should report her suspicions to the Department of Child Services. While she knows she is a mandated reporter and she has an obligation to report the child, she remembers past experiences with DCS and that it has not turned out in the child's best interest. Mandated reporters. The Federal Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act requires each state to have provisions or procedures for requiring certain individuals to report known or suspected instances of child abuse or neglect. These professions are most commonly mandated to report medical care, healthcare workers, such as doctors, nurses, medical examiners, and coroners, educational staff, teachers, principals, counselors, anybody that's in education. Social workers, law enforcement, therapists, counselors, child care providers, and clergy members. Training for mandated reporters. There's 23 states that require training for mandatory reporters. Kansas is not one of those states. They do require health and safety training videos, and in one of the videos it is about mandatory reporting. These videos are required for each teacher, and they must complete them at the beginning of each school year in my district. Permissive reporters. There are 17 states that require any person who suspects a child to report it. Kansas is not one of those 17. Permissive reporters are voluntary reporters who suspect mistreatment, child abuse, or neglect. Institutional reporting. Institutional responsibility to report states that a mandated reporter must report abuse or suspicion of abuse to their supervisor to be reported to Child Protective Services. These are the standards for making a report. A report is to be made when one suspects or has reason to believe that a child has been abused or neglected, or when one has knowledge or observes a child being subjected to conditions that would be harmful. And you're to file and photographic processors must report any photo, video, negative, slide, or film depicting child sexual misconduct. Privileged communications. To maintain confidential communication between professionals and their clients, parents, and congregants. Also, physicians, patient privileges. The most commonly affirmed privileged communication is attorney-client. For name inclusion, these reports may be made anonymously in most states, but it is helpful to know the reporter's identity. 19 states require reporters to provide their names and contact information. Kansas is not one of these 19 states. On disclosure of the reporter's identity, in 44 states, the reporter's identity is protected from being disclosed. Even when other information of the report is disclosed, identity remains protected. A reporter can waive their confidentiality rights and give consent to release their name if they so choose. Because students spend so much time in our care, it is our obligation to report any signs of abuse we notice. Throughout the year, we get to know our students on a personal level. We can tell just by looking at them what type of day they're having. If a student goes from being happy all the time to sullen, we need to start paying close attention. If we detect any signs of abuse or neglect, it is our duty to report such findings. It is our duty to protect our students. In my analysis of this case, uh, the punishing choices, as hard as it was for the teacher to do, especially after meeting with the child's parent and being assured that nothing unusual was going on in the home, it is her duty to report her findings of abuse to the Department of Child Services. She has seen a change in his happy, spunky, lively behavior, with large bruises on his arm and a cut under his eye. She has ample evidence of the suspicion of abuse. A report should be made even if not 100% certain. If not, there is a delay in protecting the child from further harm. This is a hard decision because the system seems to be flawed.